Schadenfreude. German word, Schadenfreude. Right? It means to take great joy in the pain and suffering of others. Fun fact, that word was never translated into another language. I wonder why. My story happened in Edinburgh, Scotland. What I do whenever I'm traveling is, if I get to be in the same place as my friends, we try and spend as much time together. And what we'll do is we'll order like food or we'll go out. And when we do that, we allow one person to designate the meal. And so whenever my day comes around, consistently, I pick Indian food. All right? Yeah, I think it's the best cuisine in the world. Nothing comes close. You don't agree with me? Let's meet in the parking lot. We can fight. I love Indian food. Loved it my whole life. So we're in Edinburgh. I'm with my friends. They're like, where are we going? Trevor, what do you say? I'm like, Indian food. They're like, every time. I was like, yes, every time Indian food. I'm like, oh, it's the same. I'm like, then why do you keep asking me? If you know, you know. Stop asking me. And I searched for where we were going to go. Because I always try and find the most authentic Indian restaurant I can find. Like authentic Indian restaurants. Do you know what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll go to a place and then I'll ask around. I'll ask people. I'll be like, where do you go? And then like, where the white people tell me, I don't go there. Now, the reason it had to be so authentic, just so you understand a little bit of me. I grew up in South Africa, as you know, right? Now, what a lot of people may not know is that South Africa has one of the largest Indian populations outside of India. And so I was lucky enough to grow up surrounded by Indian culture. Right? In fact, one of my best friends growing up was a little Indian boy by the name of Thiessen Pillay. Thiessen would get a packed lunch from his mom every single day. Every single day, the meal was curry. I know this because every day, we'd sit down together. Thiessen would open his little lunchbox. He'd open the bread, look inside, and then he'd scream at the top of his lungs. He'd be like, curry! Damn it, mommy! I was like, oh, but Thiessen, is it bad? He said, I don't even know anymore. I lost perspectives. Here, you can have it. And he gave me his curry sandwich. I bit it. And Toronto, there are moments in your life that will forever shape who you are. The flavors were bouncing around. My eyes opened wide. It was, I was like, what? I was like, curry! Thank you, mommy. And since then, I've loved curry. So, fast forward many decades, we're in Edinburgh, Scotland. Going out with my friends. We're choosing a spot. I choose Indian, authentic Indian. We get to the place, and it's legit. Like, it is legit. We walk in, and there's Indian music playing. There are Indian people eating, Indian cooks in the back, Indian waiters, Indian guards on the wall. I'm like, this is it. I'm home. We walked in, we sat down. And as soon as we sat, one of my friends, Steve, launches for the menu. And I was like, Steve, it's cool, man. I'll just order for everyone at the table. And he's like, oh, that's fine, Trevor. I'll order for myself, thank you. I was like, no, it's not about that, Steve. I just prefer to order for all of us, yeah? Right? You good? He's like, I don't know why that's necessary. I think I'll just order for myself. Is that okay? I was like, it's not. No, it's not okay, Steve. It's not okay, right? Because you're probably going to say some shit that's going to embarrass me in front of my Indian people, right? And so I just need you to back off for a moment. He's like, I'm sorry, what would I say that could embarrass you in front of Indian people? I was like, I don't know, Steve, and I don't want it to happen. Just let me handle this, okay? He's like, let you handle this? Trevor, I'll have you know that I've eaten curry for many, many years. I'm like, Steve, this is not the time. Just let's not argue, okay? Let's not argue. It's not the time to argue. He's like, what do you mean? Why would I embarrass you? Why? I was like, there's no why. You don't need to know why. Let's just not do it. He's like, no, why? Why? Because I'm white. I was like, you brought it up, not me, all right? I wasn't going to bring up race, but you did, Steve. And now that you brought it up, let's talk about it. Every time I take my white friends to an ethnic restaurant, they always say some shit that embarrasses me. Every single time. Every time. Either they don't know how to pronounce the food, or they'll say some random shit. They'll be like, can I get that one? The papadums? What do you call these ones? You know, they'll be like, can I get this one, but not spicy? Kill yourself! Can I get the curry, but not spicy? Kill yourself! How are you gonna ask for curry but not spicy? Your forefathers went around the world killing people for the spice. Now you don't want it? Shut up and eat the spice, Steve. And he's there, he's like, Trevor, okay, I really don't understand where this is coming from, all right? I'm not going to embarrass you. I understand curry. I was like, Steve, let's just leave it at that. I got you, okay? I got you, all right? I understand this way more than you. He's like, Trevor, I'm sorry. You're not more Indian than me. I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, yeah, you are not more Indian than me. I was like, Kuch kuch hota hai. The eye, and he's like, sorry, sir, could you repeat what you said? I kind of hear what you were saying, right? You got a bit of an accent. And I was like, oh shit! He's Scottish! I mean, I know he's Scottish. I mean, we're in Scotland, he's Scottish, but it's like he's Indian. I didn't expect that, right? Because the whole place is Indian. It's an Indian restaurant, the people eating were Indian, there's Indian gods on the wall. The guy was Indian, his beard was Indian, but his mouth was Shrek. I didn't expect that. And now he didn't understand me because I Trudeau'd too much. I didn't need to try so hard. But then I realized I also couldn't stop because that would be racist. So now I've got the Scottish Indian man looking at me. Everyone's quiet and he's like, if you don't mind, laddie, could you order again a little slower this time, right? I don't hear what you said. You want me to place the entire order again? If you don't mind, I'm ready whenever you are. You know, I think everybody can order for themselves at the table. I don't think it's necessary for me to hold their hands. Everybody can order individually, and we can go from there, okay? We can go from there. And Steve was like, oh, I wish I could, but I'm so afraid I might offend someone. I think my friend here should order for us. Please, Trevor, go ahead. Go ahead. You're far more cultured than I am. I said, no, Steve, please, you can try your hand. I'm sure you know exactly what you want. He's like, no, but what if I say something embarrassing? The last thing I'd want to do is offend another person's culture, Trevor. I said, no, you can't offend anybody. There are no mistakes here, okay? We are all friends, okay? If anybody make a mistake, we forget about it. In fact, whatever happens today, we're all going to forget about it, okay? Just order. He's like, no, I wish I could. I really wish I could. But Trevor, please go. I said, no, you just order, Steve. He's like, oh, please, Trevor. I was like, order, bastard! Just order! The waiter was like, hey, there's no need to fight amongst yourselves. Look, clearly your friend's a little uncomfortable. Right, just order for him. Like, yes, he's totally uncomfortable. Okay, could we please have 3 Romali rotis and 3 garlic naan, 1 shahi paneer, 1 palak paneer, and could we also get a lamb rogan josh? And we're also going to be having 1 butter chicken for your Caucasian friends. For anybody. Anybody can enjoy different types of curry. They don't all have to be spicy. It doesn't matter as long as you participate. There is no wrong way. Oh.
You guys having a good night? Yes? No one ever asks the opposite question. Are you guys not having a good night? I feel like they should do that. It's just a very one-way, one-sided question. I don't want to know the answer, but I will ask. I'll ask it next time. This is good. I'm having fun. This is wonderful. Learning about Montreal. I feel like I should be teaching you about South Africa. It's only fair. You know? Because that is where I come from. It would be weird if I was teaching about another place. I came from South Africa. Well, not now, but I came from there in life. I did. It's a wonderful place. It's weird to see how people ask you different questions about South Africa. More often than not, people go South Africa, say South Africa, and then they go, oh, South Africa. You're from that's the guy, right? The one who shot his girlfriend, yeah? The dude without the legs. Yeah, well, what is it? Pissed off for us? What's his name? Pissed off, like Oscar Pistorius. Yeah, Pistorius. Wow, that was insane, right? Wow, can you believe that? Could you believe that he did that? And I'm like, yeah, I could. But I mean, it was shocking. I'm like, why is it shocking? Because I mean, you don't think he could do that. I'm like, why? you don't need legs to shoot a gun. You don't, like, it's here, it's here. A lot of people looked at this and they were like, there's no danger. No, danger is here. This is how guns work. It's not this. This is not, it's here. It was a weird, and then everyone asked me the same question. They go, do you think he did it? What do you think? Do you think he did it? Well, we know he did it. He told us he did it. The question really is, do you think he's guilty? You think he's guilty, right? And I'm not one to comment on those things. I don't know what happened. Nobody really knows what happened on that night in particular. All I know, you know what, he's right, the crime in South Africa. And then Oscar Pistorius went to court and he told the story in detail. And that's when people started to change. Because it's a cool story, but I've always been a sucker for common sense. Let me break it down. This is what Oscar Pistorius said, right? On the night in question, he shot his girlfriend through a bathroom door because he thought there was an intruder in his house. Seems like a plausible story in a world full of crime. But when he broke it down, it just didn't make sense. He says he was in bed on the night in question. Right? He was in bed and he says he couldn't sleep. Even though he says he went to bed early because he was very tired. But now he's up and he can't sleep. And so then his girlfriend looked at him and said, "What's wrong, baby? Can't you sleep?" And he said, "No, I can't sleep." Oh, but he says he didn't look at her when he answered because his whole case hinged on the fact that he never knew where she was the entire night. So he says he replied, but he didn't look at her when she asked him the question. So she said, "What's wrong? Can't you sleep?" And he was like, "No, I cannot rest my head. I cannot sleep." Like, clearly watching too much Game of Thrones. That's probably what was happening in his life. And no, because that's the only place I can think of where you'd learn to have conversations without looking at anyone. That's all Game of Thrones is conversations with your back turned to somebody. That's all it is. "You will die for what you have done to my son. You will die for what you have done to this family." What you do not understand about me is, I died when I was born. I died when my father shunned me from this family. I died when all of you labeled me the imp. I died the day that... Oh, she's gone. "Oh, no, I'm sleeping. But you're not, you're awake." "Yeah, no, I can't sleep." "Oh, come on, one picture, please." "Okay, fine." Jump down. No, please, bring your legs. Please, bring the legs. "Oh, okay, fine. Oh. Okay, come on. Come on. No, it wasn't fans like that. It was fans spinning things. So Oscar Pistorius tells us he went out onto the balcony to fetch some fans of his. And the reason he did this in the middle of the night is because he believed someone was going to come into his house and steal the fans. Because that's what we do in South Africa. That's how we roll. We come into your house, we leave the TVs, the jewelry, and the money. We go straight for the fans. Yeah, because Africa's hot as shit. That's gold. Yeah. Oscar knew this. He was smart. He was like, "I'm going for the fans." And so he went to the balcony to fetch his fans, right? And when he was getting the fans, he then says his girlfriend jumped out of bed and went to the bathroom. But she didn't make a sound because she's a part-time ninja, right? And so she went to the bathroom. And he didn't hear a thing. He was busy with the fans. And then when she got into the bathroom, when she went into the toilet, then she made a sound that he says he heard. A sound that he says sounded like men were climbing into the bathroom window and going into the toilet. That's how he described it. Which is a very specific description for something you've never heard before. Like, that's a very, like, if that was me, I'd just be like, "Ha, I heard something." But he was like, "Ha, I heard men climbing into the bathroom window and going into the toilet." That's such a strange description for something you've never heard before in your life. Like, and then he even said, the attorney asked him, they said, "Well, how do you know it sounded like that?" He said, "Because I heard the window opening. It sounded like wood sliding against wood." Which is a weird description when you think, because I don't know what wood sliding against wood sounds like. Like, who knows what, like, think about it now. What does wood sliding against wood sound like? Think about it. You think, nobody knows what that sounds. There's nobody out there who's like, "Yeah, that's wood sliding against wood. I know what that sounds like. Yeah, I served at Home Depot for 3 years. I know exactly what that's." What do you mean? Oh, like wood sliding? Who are you that you know what wood sliding against wood? Like, what are you watching? Pinocchio porn movies? Who are you that you know what wood sliding against? It doesn't make sense. There's no one who knows. But this is what he says. He says he thought it was wood sliding against wood, and he heard like what? Does he have a ringtone of wood sliding? Is that what he has? I don't. But anyway, so he's there, and he's like.